Good morning, everyone, or evening, depending on when you're watching this. This is Monday, September 20th. It's about 7:45 in the morning. Just about to hop onto a Zoom call with a student that I'm mentoring, but I wanted to give you guys a quick little update. We've had a lot of movement since market open last night, and the risk sentiment is what's driving the market. Stocks are down big time, so it should be an interesting New York open. But I had a buy on GJ lined up that I did not take because of this, since we were so early in the week, and I think that it might be a good learning opportunity for you guys for why I didn't take it. Remember, fundamentals are always the underlying and overall driving factor of market. You always have to stay up to date with what fundamentals are doing. We'll hop into the charts later today, but if I were to just give you a quick overview, GJ's down 0.82%, so we're approaching 1%, and US 30 is actually down 1.5%. So I think, oh boy, yeah, you guys can kind of see roughly. That is a big drop. I think it's going to be a really interesting New York Open. I'll keep you guys updated, but things so far not looking so good. Okay guys, a little bit of an update for you. It is 10 a.m. Yeah, 10 a.m. on Monday, and we have had some wild moves. Stock market has dropped like over 1.5%. Nikkei was also down significantly. So I want to show you guys a couple of things that have happened. First off, we had a buy on GJ that of course was just missed, like we've been dealing with the last week or so. So this buy here on 149.2, the reason I had it was that psychological level, 0.2s and 0.8s on GJ are significant. Key level, that clear low right there, as well as the daily 200 EMA. So as you can see on the daily, we're starting to move. On the 4 hour, we came within about 15 pips and we moved about 50. So that trade is missed. The US 30. So as you can see, we've had a really strong sell-off here. The question is it going to be a buy the dip scenario like we've seen the last few months whenever we've had a significant decline? Based on the price action, I'm not totally convinced that it is going to be a buy the dip situation, especially since we've broken through these moving averages. So we might get a little bit of a pullback before we get an additional sell. So that's something that is really important to watch out for. In terms of other setups, I don't really have a lot going on. Maybe a little buy on GA here. Oh damn, that short on EA looks like it was missed. It came super close. It's just kind of the theme lately of like missing trades, like of coming super close to the pending and then not triggering and then moving. And it's not like it's even hitting the first confluence and then moving. It's not even hitting any of the confluences before moving. So it's a little bit discouraging. I'm gonna hop onto EA, look at it in a little bit more depth, but it looks like that might be a missed trade. The only other thing that I'm looking at, I believe it's GN. Yeah, it's GN here. We had this buy, a little bit of a riskier buy here. You can see it on the daily. The 61 fib, 200 EMA, and a kind of minor key level. That I was interested in taking, had the pending set, and you can see it came super close. So that's just kind of the name of the game of what's happening right now. So yeah, so that's what we're dealing with right now. Looks like probably no trades today, but this is a very significant day. Bitcoin was also down over 10%, so it's all about looking to see how the market is going to develop, the risk sentiment, and if this move is going to carry over. If we start to see a major decline in the stock market throughout the week, last 3 weeks have been negative, it's going to be very significant, and Forex pairs will move accordingly. So short on GJ, and we'll be shorting any Aussie, New Zealand pairs. We'll going long US dollar, long yen. So keeping my eyes on all of those things, and we'll see what happens. Wow, I don't know about you guys, I don't know how your Monday went, but today was absolutely nuts. The stock market dropped over 800 points. Bitcoin was down 10%. It was just like, it was crazy out there. It's about 6:30, 6:39 at night now. I want to go over a couple of things quickly. I'm not going to hop into the computer. I'll do a little screen recording on my phone. So many trades. I actually didn't take any trades today, but so many trades almost panned out, almost worked exactly how we wanted them to. So start off on EA here. EA, if we go back to EA, we just missed this sell that you can see on the daily. That 61 fib had that strong wick, so that didn't work, but we're waiting for the 38 pullback there, so that should be interesting. GA, we're hitting the 38 right now, looking for that pullback to the 50, because we have a 50 EMA on the daily as well as a key level, and 875, so kind of a half psychological level. EN, we're also looking for that pullback to the 38, so this is probably one of the best setups that I have right now, as well as GA that we're looking at. GN we went over, just missed slightly. It was kind of a rocky trade there. So GN was the tricky one because GN came really close. It was a 61 fib, but a minor 61, 200 EMA on the daily and the key level. This one, if we hop onto the 4-hour, you can see what happened. We came really close with that first wick, and we came back down. We moved 30 pips, and then we hit it again, so you would have gotten stopped out at break even. But now it's down over 50 pips. So in that one, I was debating all day whether or not to take it, but I got a little bit greedy in the sense that I saw my penning was about 5 pips away. I didn't enter on a market order, but honestly, I'm okay with that. I played it safe. I knew that the fundamentals were going to be in line with this trade, stronger pound for a weaker New Zealand with the stock market dropping, but I just played it safe. I'm okay with it. It's a little bit. It could have been a good trade. It was a good trade in the end, but considering the moves of today, I'm okay with that. If we look at GCAT on the daily, we just had our sell miss. This large red box just missed there, so gonna have to redraw that. But we're retracing, and then GJ was really the interesting trade of the day. Like I said this morning, those two buys didn't line up. So the question was whether or not to take 149.2, 0.2, 0.8. Those are the psychological levels that we're looking out for. It was a key level, the daily 200 EMA. But if we look on the 4-hour for the price action, you can see we came super close, and then we moved, and then we came back down and we triggered, and now it's working well. I didn't take it because I was hoping and I was looking for EJ to line up at 128. With the stock market, we really don't know what kind of carryover we're going to get, whether we get a carryover or not. That's what I was looking out for. The stock market dropped a lot today. We finished down 1.5%. So that is really that's what everyone's looking out for. That's what I'm looking out for. The question is, like I said, are we going to get that carryover? So it's only risk sentiment that we're interested in. There wasn't really any major headlines that drove this. It's really just Evergrande's situation in China. I spoke about it a little bit on my Twitter account. I'm not an expert, but just a massive real estate company that borrowed too much, and it looks like they're going to collapse. So the question is whether or not China's going to step in, what's going to happen. And now with the stock market dropping, the Fed this week, everything's just up in the air, and it's really an interesting time and a good learning opportunity. So all of that to say, crazy day, no trades yet, but I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Peace. Okay, so now Wednesday, 3:30 in the afternoon. All of the moves are pretty much done for today. It was a pretty interesting day. What happened was we started out with getting a pullback in the stock market, and then it was up over 1%. Then it turned negative, and then it turned back into a positive for the day. So super bipolar, and Forex pairs for the most part were also a little bit bipolar. No trades today. I know for the last week or so, this has been the theme of mistrade. I swear I do take trades. It's just the market lately has been a little bit wacky and moving before hitting the penny. So it's a little bit frustrating, but fortunately I've been doing it long enough to know that this does happen, but it won't be a forever type of thing. So if you are in the same situation where you have these setups, they come super close before triggering you and then working, you're not alone. I'm in the same boat. So I'll show you guys exactly what I was looking at today and what missed. First off, we have EA, which you can see here. So this sell, which it looks like it hit my box, because it does hit my box, it missed my pending by just a couple of pips, and it has moved about 50. So solid setup there. The one that was also missed was this buy, this green box right here. So that green box was a 38 fib. You can see we came really close to it. I woke up in the middle of the night, said we were like 15 pips away. I was like, perfect, when I wake up it will have triggered, and then we moved and it moved without triggering me. So that was what happened on EA. EN was also a very similar situation. We have this red box. It's a daily 38 fib, 50 EMA, and a whole bunch of EMAs on the 4-hour. So super solid setup, and it just missed there. If we hop over to GA, nothing really on GA. We're still looking for a little bit of a deeper retracement to the downside. GCAD also missed a minor buy that I had. It might still be valid though. We're bouncing off the 50 fib, so you can see that here. We're looking for the 61. And gold, I actually want to show you guys quickly what happened with the stock market. So this is on the daily, so it doesn't give you the best picture. On the 4-hour, you can see that we started to get that pullback, and then we turned negative, and now we're ending off the day with a little bit of upside. So for the day, we're up 0.41%. So again, we have to totally see what happens as we develop throughout the week. But Evergrande's situation is deteriorating, which isn't helping the overall risk sentiment. And gold, lastly. Gold, we ended up hitting an area that I was interested in. I didn't actually execute upon this trade, but it was the 38 fib from the high at 1780 area. So that is that. We have a truck going by. Come on, keep going. So overall, that is what happened today. I've still been on the sidelines, but there's still quite a few setups that I'm looking at for the rest of the week. It's been a really exciting week. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Just hopefully I'll be able to have a few of my pendings trigger, get into the game for this week. But that's it for now. And do I have anything else to say to you? We still have the Fed meeting coming up this week. I believe that is tomorrow. So that's what the market is going to be watching, especially with the stock market volatility. Everybody was expecting, and the Fed has also vocalized that tapering is coming.
Winter is coming.
But now they're probably, knowing the Fed, they're probably going to say that with uncertainty in the markets, they're going to postpone any tapering. Not that they were going to taper this meeting, but the tapering was coming up, and I bet they'll probably postpone it. So that's what I'm going to be watching out for tomorrow, and that's what the market overall is going to be looking out for. So I'll keep you guys updated. What's up, guys? It is now Wednesday, September 22nd. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, so we actually had a trade trigger last night. Can you believe that? I actually got into a trade. It was a buy on Euro New Zealand. I'll put a screenshot up here for you guys. It was more of a 4-hour trade, but there was a fib there. There was a bunch of moving averages. There was a key level. There was really quite a few confluences, especially for a 4-hour trade. So I took it late last night about 9 p.m. and my TP1 hit shortly after that, before I went to bed. So by 10 p.m. we made 30 pips. So I closed half of my position, and then around 3 a.m. the remaining portion of my trade got stopped out at break even. So it wasn't a massive winner, just a small winner, but first trade of the week that I have managed to get in. So that is the update for you. In terms of today, it's 10 a.m. and we haven't had a ton of movement. We've definitely had less movement than we've seen Monday and Tuesday. The Evergrande situation in China has improved quite a bit. They've announced that they're going to be able to make their bond purchases that are due tomorrow. So that's good news for them, and the market has reacted positively as a result. So now we're just waiting for 2 p.m. Eastern time for FOMC. That's what the market is watching very, very closely. The only trade, there's actually 2 trades that I have my eye on. It's a buy on GC, which is about 30-40 pips away, but then there's also another more of a 4-hour short that I'm looking out for on GA. So I'll see if I can show you guys that. I'll put a screenshot in. It's also a little bit more of a 4-hour trade. It's 38 fib, but 2 moving averages, key level, good stuff. It bounced off the minor 23 fib and moved lower, but I haven't canceled it yet, so that might not hit, but we'll see, and I'll keep you updated. But all eyes are on FOMC, and that is our main focus for today. Wow, it has been a minute. We are now moving into the afternoon on Thursday, so I haven't spoken to you guys for a little while, and a lot has happened in the market. So we'll start off with yesterday. Yesterday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, we had the FOMC, which moved the markets a ton. I actually got into a trade. I wasn't out, but one of my pendings triggered on GA, which worked out perfectly. It was a really, really nice trade, so I took my first take profit at 30 pips. Full TP at 50 pips. So that was a really nice winner. In terms of what happened with the FOMC, it's really, overall, this has been one of the most interesting weeks in a while, and FOMC just added on top of that. So in terms of how hawkish Powell and the FOMC overall could have been, it was probably the most hawkish situation. So with the dot plot moving into 2024, it looks like the Fed is preparing for rate hikes, and there was also some comments from Powell saying that tapering is to come. So the initial reaction was a stronger US dollar, but that has not continued, and stocks have moved higher, which is surprising because with this hawkishness and with the market knowing that rate hikes are eventually going to come, probably sooner rather than later, you would expect a weaker stock market and probably a stronger US dollar, but that has not happened. So there's definitely something deeper going on with the market. It looks like overall the market has already priced this in and is really just focusing on the situation in China, which is improving with Evergrande. So that's kind of the rough overview of what happened with FOMC. FOMC. So I did have that trade on GA, which worked out nicely. I had a short on, was it GA or GN? I had a short, I'll put a picture in here somewhere. I had a short that I actually got triggered in last night, but I closed it at a break even pretty shortly after. Just with the price action, I wasn't convinced that it was going to drop within or before where my stop loss was. So I made that adjustment. I either would have been a winning trade, or I would have gotten stopped out by 1 or 2 pips. It came pretty close to where my stop loss was. So there's that. Now we are 11:45 on Thursday, and I've gotten into 2 trades. So one is a short on GJ at 151.3, I think the area is. So there's a lot of confluence there. There a 61 fib, a bunch of moving averages, a key level. So that hasn't really moved very much. We've just kind of been hovering around my entry point, and I just entered a small short on GCAD. It's a 38 fib. So I shortened, or I reduced my position size just because the pound's been strong overall today, and I'm already in that GJ short. So I've adjusted that accordingly, and really we're just in those 2 trades. We're just watching to see what happens for the rest of the week. Overall, it's been a really good week. If we don't include the trades that I'm in currently, I've taken 3 trades, 2 have been winners, and 1 has been a break-even trade. So overall, really good. We'll see what happens with these 2 trades. I'm trying to upload this for you guys Friday morning, so depending on how that goes, video will either end here, or I'll give you guys another little update. I'll probably give you guys another little update, so stay tuned for that. 2 trades right now. We'll see what happens. Okay guys, as promised, I'm going to give you a final quick little update in terms of what happened with GJ and GC. GC ended up hitting my TP1 at 30 pips, so that has moved on to break even. My TP2 is about at 70 pips, so we'll see what happens with that. That is probably going to move into tomorrow, very likely. GJ, on the other hand, has been very, very slow, so we're right around my break even point. My TP1 is at 30 pips, and then we'll see what happens. I'd like to target the 38 level for a potential buy, so I'm going to be holding on to that. But overall, super solid week. This is the best week that I have had in a little while, so I hope you guys have gotten something out of this video. As always, leave me as many comments as you'd like, or questions as you would like, down below. Lessons that I've taken away from this week: don't get discouraged if your pendings miss, and regardless of what the overall market is doing, if you have a reason for taking a trade, leave your pending, take it, risk it if there's a reason to risk it, and just let the market do whatever it wants to do. So super good week. I hope you guys had an equally good week, if not better, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.